In this video, we're gonna make some twisted W Damascus and then forge out 5 integral blades from that bar. I really like making small integrals, and I've made a couple in the past and people seem to really like them, so that's why I chose to do this small run of 5 pieces. They're gonna be available once they're finished since they're not custom orders as well. As with the beginning of any Damascus knife, once the sketch is done, we gotta move on to making the Damascus. So I'm prepping the 1084 and 15 and 20. Got a big stack of 15 and 20 cut up, ready to go here. I need a little bit more 1084 though. I'm using some 1/8 inch 1084. So I've marked out 2 sticks of 1/8 inch 1084 every 6 inches. I'm gonna chop them up on the bandsaw, and then we'll get this billet stacked up for our twist Damascus. Now I've got plenty of 1084 and 15 and 20 cut. We can go ahead and start shuffling these 2 types of steel together. I'm still a little uncertain if I'm gonna just do standard 15 and 20 to 1084 layers, or if I'm gonna add some double layers in somewhere, or triple or quadruples to add some dramatic effect. So I guess I gotta figure that out real soon here. The plan is to make a twisted W Damascus billet. So we got 1084, 15 and 20, 1084, 15 and 20. I'm gonna do that all the way up to about 4-inch billet or so. I think I'm gonna stare at this for a while and decide if I wanna leave it just alternating layers, or if I'm gonna add in some extra dark spots or some extra bright spots by doubling or tripling or quadrupling up on either the 1084 or the 15 and 20. Once that's done, I'll go ahead and get this thing MIG welded on the ends and put some sheet metal on the sides, so we'll be able to do a 0 atmosphere forge welding on this thing. Get forging.
2,000 years later.
I finally made a decision on how I want to set up this billet. I think I'm going to do kind of a modified W pattern, and we're going to twist it up really tight. So what I've got here is the entire billet is just regular 1/8 inch thick 1084 layers with 16th inch thick 15 and 20, except for here, here, and here. Right here I doubled up on the 1084. I also doubled up on the 1084 in the center, and then I doubled up on a layer of 15 and 20 on each side of the very center piece. I think we'll go ahead and get all this MIG welded up, get the sides sealed up with some sheet metal, and get this puppy in the forge. I just got done with the first forge weld, and I ground off all the sheet metal. Got the billet nice and clean. It's back in the forge now. Getting ready to draw it out just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna start using the squaring dies to force some W's. I want some aggressive W's in this, so I'm gonna use the squaring dies to really make that happen. I've got the billet all cut up into 7 pieces, and it's currently being held together with some Starbond CA glue. The pattern on the end isn't quite a normal W pattern. Normally you'd have the very center, which is right here, would be straight up and down in the center, but I wanted to make it go across on a little bit of an angle, so we've got this cool effect going on. I don't know how it'll show up in the final twisted bar, but I'm really liking the way it's looking right now. I also added in some 1084 pieces in between the layers, which should also give a really cool effect once we go to twist this up. I'm gonna go weld this thing up, seal up all the edges, make sure no atmosphere can get in there, forge weld this, draw it out, and start twisting. It's gonna be tough too because it's gonna be a pretty big bar when I go to twist it, probably 3/4 to 1 inch, somewhere in that range. And it's currently about 92 degrees out, so it's gonna be a workout. Got the billet ready for twisting. I went with 15/16 inch square, so just under 1 inch. It's really hot out though. I've been forging for a long day. I'm gonna wait until a brand new fresh day to twist that because it's gonna be a lot of manual labor. I don't have any kind of twisting jig set up, so it's just gonna be by hand. I'm gonna wait for a nice fresh day. Hopefully get it before it gets real hot out too.
Tomorrow.
Getting ready to twist the bar. Both ends of the billet are pretty nasty and kind of split apart a little bit, the first inch, and they're also not twisted. So I cut one of the bad ends mostly off. It's got a little bit of bad stuff left in there. I'm gonna start by forging the tang out because it's untwisted a little bit, and it doesn't matter if it's doesn't have all the twists in the end for the tang. And then I'm kind of backwards forge the knife, I think, and we'll forge the blade after the tang on this one and keep it on the bar as long as possible before I cut it off and go from there. I'm gonna start out with forging one and see how it goes and make little adjustments when I go to do the other batch. Coffee break. Is that metal at the bottom of my cup? I got my first integral forged out as kind of a little prototype for the next 4, and went ahead and forged out 4 more, so we've got a total of 5 of them. In the next video, we are gonna have an absolute ton of grinding to do.